The Sunday afternoon sun spilled into the living room of the Johnson residence. Derek sat quietly on the couch, his brows furrowed as he scrolled through messages on his phone. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, exchanged a look. His father cleared his throat. "Derek," his father began, "there's something important we must discuss." Derek put his phone aside, sensing the tension. "Yes, Dad." His mother leaned forward. "We've decided it's time you settled down. You're almost 30, and marriage is the next step." Derek shrugged. "I know, Mom. But marriage isn't something you rush. It's about love." His father chuckled coldly. "Love? Love doesn't secure the future, son. Listen carefully. We want you to marry Pastor Johnson's daughter, Angela." Derek blinked. "What?" His mother nodded firmly. "The Johnsons have been our friends for years. Their daughter is beautiful, educated, refined. If you marry her, her father, being a minister, will ensure our family receives more business contracts. It's a union of wisdom and wealth." Derek felt his heart pound. "But I don't love Angela. I already have someone in my life, Naomi." His father's smile vanished. "Naomi? That nurse you met downtown? She doesn't come from a family of influence. What does she have to offer you?" Derek's voice trembled, but he stood his ground. "She has love, and that's more than enough." His mother shook her head. "Love fades. Security remains. You will marry Angela. It's decided." Derek's chest tightened. It felt less like a suggestion and more like a verdict. That evening, Derek drove to Naomi's small apartment. She opened the door, her eyes lighting up until she saw his face clouded with worry. "Derek, what's wrong?" she asked, pulling him inside. He sat on the couch, burying his face in his hands. "Naomi, my parents want me to marry Angela Johnson, the minister's daughter. They say it's for contracts. They don't care about my feelings." Naomi's heart sank, but she sat beside him, gently touching his shoulder. "And what did you tell them?" Derek lifted his head, his eyes moist. "I told them I love you. That's all that matters. But Naomi, the pressure is too much. They won't let this go." Naomi swallowed hard, her own fears pressing in. "So what does this mean for us?" Derek grabbed her hand. "It means I have to fight. I can't let them dictate my life." She smiled faintly through the pain. "I'll stand with you, Derek. But be prepared. Families don't let go of their ambitions easily." The following Sunday, Derek's parents insisted he attend service at Pastor Johnson's church. As the choir sang, Derek noticed Angela, dressed elegantly in a red gown. She was striking, confident, proud, and fully aware of her beauty. After service, their parents gathered them together. Angela extended her hand, her lips curling into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "So you're Derek," she said. "And you're Angela," Derek replied curtly. She leaned closer, whispering so only he could hear. "Relax. I'm not thrilled about this either. But it's what our families want. You don't have to like me. Just play your part." Derek frowned. "Marriage isn't a game." Angela smirked. "For you, maybe. For me, it's business. And business is everything." Naomi, who had come quietly to the back of the church, saw Derek's tense body language and Angela's smug expression. Her chest tightened. She felt invisible in a world that treated her love as worthless. That night, Derek confronted his parents again. "Dad, Mom, I'm not marrying Angela. I told you already." His father slammed his palm on the table. "You will do as I say. Do you want to see this family lose everything I've worked for? Pastor Johnson holds keys to opportunities. Your selfishness could ruin us." Derek's voice rose. And what about me? Am I just a pawn in your contracts? His mother's tone was sharp. We gave you everything, schools, clothes, comfort. And this is how you repay us. By chasing after a nurse who cannot elevate us. Derek's eyes burned with unshed tears. Maybe I don't want to elevate you. Maybe I just want to be happy. His father's voice grew cold. Then you are a disgrace. Naomi sat in her apartment, tears falling silently. She remembered the laughter she and Derek shared, the picnics in the park, the whispered dreams at night. Now, all of it felt threatened. Her best friend, Lisa, sat across from her. Girl, don't let them take him away. If Derek loves you, he'll fight. Naomi shook her head. Lisa, you don't understand. These people don't see me as worthy. To them, I'm just nothing. And what if Derek gives in? What if contracts matter more than love? Lisa squeezed her hand. Naomi, love is stronger than any contract. Don't you forget that. 2 nights later, Derek called Naomi. Meet me at the park. Midnight. Under the giant oak tree, the 2 lovers embraced. Derek cupped Naomi's face. Naomi, I don't care what they say. I don't care if they disown me. You're the one I love. And I'd rather be poor with you than rich with someone I don't love. Naomi's tears glistened under the moonlight. Derek, are you sure? Because once you choose me, there's no turning back. He pressed his forehead against hers. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. When Derek told his parents his decision, the house exploded in fury. You ungrateful boy, his father roared. Get out of my house. From this moment, you are no longer my son. His mother cried. You'll regret this, Derek. That woman will bring you nothing but poverty. Derek's voice shook, but he stood firm. Then let poverty come. At least I'll have love. With nothing but a bag of clothes, Derek left the mansion. He drove to Naomi's apartment. She opened the door, shocked. They threw me out, he whispered. Naomi pulled him into her arms. Then we'll start over. Together. Word spread quickly. Pastor Johnson, furious that his daughter had been rejected, used his influence to sabotage Derek's father's contracts. Companies that once sought the Johnsons' business withdrew overnight. Angela, smug, told her friends, let Derek enjoy his little nurse. Let's see how long love pays his bills. Meanwhile, Derek worked odd jobs, construction during the day, driving at night. Naomi supported him with food and encouragement. Their love grew stronger in hardship, even as the world sneered. Life without his family's wealth was hard. Derek woke before dawn to take construction shifts, his once smooth hands now blistered and sore. At night, he drove a battered car for a delivery company. One evening, exhausted, he dropped onto Naomi's couch. Naomi, I'm sorry. You don't deserve this life. I promised you the world, but look at me now. Naomi knelt beside him, taking his hand. Derek, I never asked for the world. I asked for you, and I have you. That's enough. Her words wrapped around him like a bomb. But deep inside, Derek still battled fear. He had chosen love, but at what cost? Angela spotted Derek at a grocery store one Saturday. He wore dusty jeans, pushing a cart with Naomi beside him. She strutted over in designer heels. Well, well, Angela sneered. From luxury cars to this? Carrying groceries like a peasant. Derek's jaw tightened. Angela, leave us alone. She leaned in, her perfume sharp. This is temporary, Derek. You'll get tired of playing house with your nurse. When that day comes, I'll be waiting, with everything you threw away. Naomi's eyes burned, but she remained calm. As they walked away, she whispered, Ignore her. She doesn't understand what we have. That night, Naomi sat up thinking. She realized love alone wasn't enough. They needed stability. She had always dreamed of running her own business, and now it seemed like the only way forward. "Derek," she said the next morning, "what if we start something together? A cleaning service. Hospitals, offices, everywhere needs cleaning. I can handle clients, and you can manage operations." Derek blinked. "Naomi, that's brilliant. But we'll need money for supplies, for transport." Naomi opened a small box and showed him savings she had hidden away. "It's not much, but it's a start. Let's build something of our own." They started with little, just basic cleaning supplies and Naomi's determination. Derek knocked on office doors, offering their services. At first, many laughed. One manager sneered, "A former rich boy now cleaning floors? How ironic." But Naomi kept encouraging Derek. Slowly, they landed their first client, a small clinic. Then another. They worked day and night, scrubbing floors, polishing windows, proving their worth. Naomi would smile after each job. "See, Derek, we're planting seeds. One day, this little business will grow." Meanwhile, Derek's father's empire crumbled. Without Pastor Johnson's contracts, debts piled high. Employees resigned, partners withdrew. One night, Derek's mother wept at the dinner table. "We've lost everything. Maybe we were wrong." But his father clenched his jaw. "No, Derek betrayed us. He chose love over family. Let him suffer." Still, in the privacy of his study, Mr. Johnson stared at unpaid bills with trembling hands. For the first time in his life, he felt powerless. Angela wasn't done. Determined to ruin Derek completely, she spread rumors among clients. "Be careful with that couple's cleaning business. They're unprofessional." Derek was disowned. He can't be trusted. Some contracts slipped away. Derek slammed the phone after yet another cancellation. "It's her. I know it." Naomi placed a steady hand on his arm. "Then we work harder. We build trust so strong, her lies won't matter." Her calm strength lit a fire in Derek's heart. "Naomi, I don't deserve you. But I swear one day I'll make you proud." Despite setbacks, their reputation slowly grew. Clients began recommending them. Naomi's warm personality and Derek's tireless work ethic won hearts. One evening, Naomi showed him a new hospital contract. Tears filled Derek's eyes. "We did it, Naomi. We're actually growing." She kissed his cheek. "Not we, you. You never gave up. That's what makes me proud." For the first time, Derek felt hope that love and hard work might actually win. Back at the Johnson home, Mr. Johnson faced foreclosure. His pride crumbled with his fortune. Finally, in a moment of desperation, he whispered to his wife, "Perhaps we should call Derek." His wife hesitated. "After everything we said to him?" Mr. Johnson lowered his head. "We have no choice. He is all we have left." Derek was shocked when his parents showed up at Naomi's modest home. His mother burst into tears. "Son, forgive us. We chased contracts and nearly lost everything, including you." His father, humbled, whispered, "Derek, I was wrong. You were right. Love is the only true contract. Help us." Naomi watched silently as Derek's eyes softened. He had waited years to hear these words. "I forgive you," Derek said at last. "But remember this lesson, love cannot be bought." His mother hugged him, sobbing. For the first time in years, Derek felt like a son again. Years later, Derek and Naomi's cleaning company had grown into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. They provided jobs for hundreds in their community. At their anniversary celebration, Derek raised a toast. They said love wouldn't feed us. They said love wouldn't build a future. But look at us now. Naomi, you were right. Love is stronger than contracts. Naomi smiled through tears. And love never fails. In the crowd, even Angela sat silently, defeated, realizing she had lost not only Derek, but also the chance to understand what true success meant. Success made noise. It also made enemies. A rumor started on a local business forum. Prime Care Clean violates safety codes. Anonymous accounts repeated it. A photo of a mislabeled chemical bottle went viral. Derek paced the office. We never store chemicals like that. Naomi scanned the photo, zooming in. That's not our warehouse. Who benefits from this? Derek asked. Naomi's voice was steady. The same people who tried to kill our first contracts. That evening, Naomi found a brown envelope taped under her windshield wiper, 3 grainy pictures of a man in a suit passing cash to a building inspector, and a sticky note, ask who signs the inspector's church tithe receipts. Naomi looked at Derek. This isn't business. This is a holy war in business clothes. Angela requested a meeting at a quiet cafe, eyes hidden behind dark glasses. She sat before they arrived, fingers drumming. I didn't plant the forum rumor, she said before hello. But I know who did. Derek folded his arms. Why help us? Angela exhaled. Because my father uses people like chess pieces. I used to be proud of that. Now I'm just tired. Naomi's expression softened but stayed guarded. Say the name. Angela hesitated. Inspector Ray Sutter and Deacon Miles. Dad's fixer. Derek swallowed anger. Your father is a minister. Ministers are men. Men can be hungry, Angela replied, voice low. And hungry men justify anything. She slid a USB drive across the table. Audio. A councilman bragging about correcting the winners list for the city janitorial bid. Your company was first. Then it wasn't. Naomi's grip tightened on the drive. Why now, Angela? Angela stared at her hands. Because the boy I was raised to marry chose love. I want to know what it looks like to choose truth. Prime Care had bid on a massive city contract. Schools, clinics, community centers. Weeks earlier, they'd placed second by a hair. With a USB in hand, Naomi and Derek met civil rights attorney Marla Benton, a steel-spined woman with a voice like gravel and grace. Marla listened, then nodded. If this audio is clean, we file an emergency injunction. Discovery will bury the Whisper campaign. Derek frowned. This could blow back on our families. Corruption always blows back, Marla said. The question is whether you stand when it does. They stood. Mr. Johnson sat across from Derek at Naomi's dining table, twisting his wedding band. Son, don't fight City Hall. People disappear in that machine. Derek's eyes were kind but firm. Dad, the machine chewed you because you fed it. This ends with me. Mrs. Johnson wiped her eyes. Naomi, please, keep him safe. Naomi reached for her hand. He's safer in the light than in shadows. Mr. Johnson sagged. We taught you to win. You learned to be good. I'm proud, and I hate it, because being proud means admitting I failed you first. Derek squeezed his father's shoulder. Then let this be our restart. The injunction hearing felt cramped. Too much truth pressed into too little air. Marla played the audio, a councilman joking about re-ranking bids after a pastoral breakfast. The judge's eyebrow lifted. Deacon Miles took the stand, smug until Marla's questions turned surgical. Deacon, did you meet with Inspector Sutter on April 7th? I meet many people. Did you meet him at 9:42 p.m. behind the Brookfield Annex? Silence. Marla slid a photo forward. Is that your hat? The judge granted the injunction, freezing the city's contract and ordering a full review. Outside, microphones bloomed like metal flowers. Marla spoke simply. Sunlight. Pastor Johnson thundered the next Sunday. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. The congregation shouted amen. Angela sat in the front row, hands clenched. Her father's sermon named no names, but the arrows were clear. Rebellious children, Jezebels, enemies of the gospel masked as reformers. After service, Angela walked into his office. "Daddy, stop," she said. He turned slowly. "You forgot your place." I remembered my conscience. His voice was soft and lethal. "Do not cross this line." She lifted her chin. "You built the line across people's throats." 2 nights later, Prime Care's warehouse alarm tripped. Derek arrived to shattered glass, Naomi right behind him. Shelves were overturned. Files scattered. On the floor, a single envelope with a burned edge. Inside, a photocopy of their marriage license application from years earlier, never filed because the family war exploded. Naomi's breath hitched. They dug through our past to rattle our present. Derek picked up the page gently, like fragile bone. Then let's file the future. He looked at her, voice trembling. Marry me. Not as defiance. As destiny. Naomi nodded, tears bright. Yes. They chose the park with the old oak tree. Chairs were simple. Vows were strong. Mr. Johnson stood at the back, eyes wet. When the officiant said, "Speak now," he did. The crowd froze. "I came to stop you once," he said, voice breaking. "Today I ask to stand with you." He took Naomi's bouquet for a moment and adjusted the hem of her dress like she was his own daughter. "Walk into joy, both of you." Pastor Johnson didn't attend. Angela did, quiet as a shadow, slipping a handwritten note into Naomi's palm. "Be happy loudly." They were. The city audit cracked open drawers nobody had touched in years. Emails. Prayer breakfasts, with price tags. Threats disguised as blessings. Inspector Sutter, resigned to spend time with family. Deacon Miles disappeared from the church roster, then from the city entirely. A reform slate swept the council's procurement committee. Prime Care's bid, restored to its original score, placed first. At the press conference, a reporter asked Derek, "Any last words to your detractors?" Derek smiled gently. "Yes. We'll be hiring." Laughter spread like relief. On a rainy Tuesday, Pastor Johnson came to Prime Care, alone, hat in hand. Naomi invited him into the small conference room with the wobbly table they never replaced, on purpose, to remember where they began. "I owe you an apology," the pastor said, voice small. "I confused God's favor with my ambition. I hurt you both." Derek nodded slowly. "Accountability heals what apologies can't." Naomi added, "We won't seek your ruin, Pastor, but we won't protect your patterns." He stared at his hands. "What must I do?" "Start where you ended. Tell the whole truth to your church," Naomi said. "Then return what never belonged to you." He closed his eyes and, for once, listened. Angela sold the red car, the designer purses, the front row seat to a life that never filled her. She took a communications job at a nonprofit that cleaned up illegal dump sites in neglected neighborhoods. One evening, she rang Naomi's doorbell holding paint-splattered sneakers. "I'm learning to be small," she said, half smiling. "It turns out small can change things." Naomi opened the door wider. "Come in. Supper's on." At the table, Derek raised his glass. "To people who choose different before life forces them to." Angela's eyes shone. "To people who didn't give up on me while I was still giving up on myself." Prime Care's city work began at dawn, schools first. Naomi walked hallways with principals who hadn't seen a fresh wax on the floors in years. Kids skated in socks on gleaming linoleum and laughed like wind chimes. Derek trained crews on safety and dignity. We don't just clean. We restore. At the ribbon cutting, the mayor read a statement about integrity vendors. Marla Benton winked from the crowd. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson stood arm in arm, faces finally restful. A reporter asked Naomi, "What's your secret?" Naomi looked at Derek, then at the children swirling around them. "We put love in the contract. Success didn't erase struggle." A flu wave knocked out crews. A supply shipment arrived spoiled. Payroll got tight after a client's late payment. Derek pressed his palms to his desk, head bowed. "Lord, we could use a break." Naomi set a thermos beside him. "Here's one, hot tea." She kissed his temple. "And here's another, remember you're not alone." He exhaled. "I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop." "Let it," she said, smiling. "We've got a closet full of better shoes." They mapped a cash flow bridge, cut their salaries for a month, and kept every worker paid. Word spread, again, for the right reason. A handwritten letter arrived without a return address. "You don't know me. I was in the pews when the pastor called you enemies. I felt the heat of that lie. Watching you win without gloating taught me my faith again. Enclosed is a check. Use it where pride once stood." It was enough to build a training center. Prime Care named it the Open Hands Institute, free certification in OSHA safety, small business basics, and conflict resolution for young adults looking for a first step. Naomi cut the ribbon with a trembling hand. In this city, nobody should have to choose between bread and a clean conscience. A third grader tugged at Derek's sleeve during a school walkthrough. "Are you the boss?" Derek crouched. "I'm a boss. Lots of bosses here." He pointed to a team leader, then to the custodian who'd kept the school running alone for years. The child frowned thoughtfully. "My dad said bosses only care about money." Derek smiled. "Some do. We care about the floor being so shiny your face can grin back at you." The boy peered at the reflection and laughed. "I look happy." "Then we're rich," Derek said. Pastor Johnson stood before his congregation, older by decades measured in weeks. "I worship the contract more than the covenant," he said, voice raw. "I misused influence. I shamed good people. I ask forgiveness, and I submit to oversight." Some left, offended by the fall of a man they needed to be flawless. Many stayed, relieved to meet a man at all. After service, he waited on the steps. When Naomi and Derek approached, he whispered, "I'm trying." Naomi nodded. "Keep trying. Make restitution where you can. And stop preaching against people God sent to help you." That night, Naomi and Derek sat in the room where they keep promises, the room with the wobbly table and the first invoice framed on the wall. "We could have been a different story," Derek murmured. Naomi leaned into him. "We still could be, every day we choose." He kissed her forehead. "Thank you for making me brave." She smiled. "You were brave. I just held the flashlight." Their phones buzzed simultaneously. An email from the city. Contract renewed for 3 more years, expanded to include senior centers. Derek laughed, a sound like release. Years later, at the Open Hands Institute's graduation, Angela handed diplomas to a line of students with second chances in their pockets. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson sat with a new ease, volunteering on weekends. Marla Benton taught a class called Paper Trails and Bright Lights. Naomi stepped to the podium. "Once upon a time, we were asked to sign a contract with our lives. We said no and wrote a different one." She looked at Derek. "Our contract says, tell the truth. Pay people on time. Take the small jobs. Take the blame when it's yours and the lesson when it's not. Protect the vulnerable. Love out loud. And when the world says, you owe us, answer, we already gave everything together. The crowd rose. Somewhere, a child giggled at his reflection on a floor so clean it made him feel new. And that was the contract that kept on paying. Interest in hearts, dividends in homes, and a balance sheet full of names who finally belonged.